In a world where pretty much anyone can say anything to anyone, the chats are telling you to get today on Indie Miners, the new album.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Indie Miners. Ben and Alvy here, and today we'll be taking a look at the Chat's second album, Get F***ed, as well as pondering the question whether they're a one-hit wonder or should everyone else go get f***ed. Al, good afternoon to you, mate. How's everything been?
Yeah, good, mate. Looking forward to having a beer with your mates and getting into a deep chat about the Chat's new album.
Very good. So I might get into the rundown. And the Chats have been around now, interestingly enough, for 6 or 7 years. So it feels like they came out of the block, but they have been around now for a little bit of time. And they were being lauded by a number of very popular international acts. Queens of the Stone Age and Dave Grohl in particular have been very fond of this band up and coming and seeing through. A lot of bands like Wet Leg have been able to cover them. Interestingly, though, our Harry Styles also covered Wet Leg. So not sure what's going on there. But if we want to talk about the album itself, we've got 13 tracks, 27 minutes. We're here for a good time, not a long time, shall we say. And in terms of what the album is coming across as, it's probably very typical of a garage rock, pub rock, punk rock type of a hybrid style. Very high in energy. You're not seeing too many acoustic guitars here, Al, and the tempo's at a beat where you can definitely bop along to. And from albums that are very similar to it, it's no surprise that you see that we have bands that are from the late 70s or in that early era punk genre that was emerging. Those types of bands are coming across as very strong, similar influences. And if you take a listen to some of these albums that we see, you can definitely see that. Probably the final thing to say before we go on, Al, is that the band has transitioned in the last couple of years to a new guitarist. Josh Price has been replaced by Josh Hardy, but looking at them both, I'm just wondering, mate, if they've just sort of taken the piss there. They look like the same blokes. I don't know about you, but it might be just a bit of an in-joke in relation to it. Please let me know in the comments if those two have actually been seen in the same room before. But Al, moving along, what did you think of the album and where do you sort of see this landing?
Yeah, look, I loved it. I loved it for both the music and the lyrics. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 in terms of a general rating, but I really like this band for their short, sharp takes on things that piss people off. You've got songs like Ticket Inspector, which are just hilarious about basically, not paying your tickets on the bloody bus, the price of smokes. These guys are just bloody hilarious. I think they are really, I'd love to see them live personally, and I think they've got some real capacity to grow as a band in terms of maybe looking to change things up and maybe have a few acoustic songs. I think that would be really interesting to see the lead singer as well as playing the bass kind of come out and come and do a few different things on the next few albums to see what they can do. But I think it's a really fun album. I don't know whether or not they should be more focused on short, sharp EPs and releasing those more frequently rather than an LP. I thought it was a little bit too long, even though it only goes for 27 minutes. But for me, mate, the best track off the album has to be Drunk in Every Pub in Brisbane. I just think that's just hilarious. And the film clip that goes with it is just a real laugh, and it's good to have a beer with. And if you're up for that kind of short, sharp, bass-heavy kind of music, I think this is a good album for you, mate. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I did like this album. So it does come out of the blocks. 6-litre GTR. It's a really fun song. Actually, the first 3 songs are very much like that. I tend to agree, though. It's funny, a 27-minute album. It's interesting trying to talk about it in terms of it going too long, but I did feel that they do have a particular pace that they have settled into, and I personally probably would have culled 2 or 3 songs from the list. Now, my favourite song happened to be a song where it was, I guess in another gear. So The Price of Smokes is An absolute hilarious song. Now, I don't condone what he's actually trying to sort of say if you take a literal interpretation of what he's singing about. He's complaining about the price of smokes and chopping parliamentarians' heads off because of that. I don't know. I thought it was funny though. Look, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I think it does come out to me as being a bit of a change of pace, and I think they are actually very comfortable in that, and we don't sort of see that enough from them. So for me, I'm giving it 3.5 stars, and I think the main reason for that is that I think that was very good songs by and large, but I think there was very much a sameness about a lot of the songs on the album. So they're both of our ratings. Now coming to the big question. Are they a one-hit wonder, or can everyone just go and get fucked?
Yeah, I think at this stage they are pretty safe to go and tell everyone to get fucked. I think that they are on a high. I think they've probably got another album or so of this kind of stuff to go, but I don't know whether in 10 or 15 years' time they're going to still be at the pubs playing these kind of songs when these guys are in their 40s, early 50s. I do want to say, though, and it'd be really interesting to kind of put it out to our viewers in the comments section, a bit of a competition around who can come up with the best title for a potential Chats song. So basically, all you really need to do is think of anything that pisses you off or anything that, that basically really grinds your bloody gears, and put it in the comments. For an example, one that really gets me, mate, which I'd love to see the boys do, is the fucking kids have stolen me charger again. It grinds my gears every time, mate. And I reckon you could do a short, sharp, 2-minute song basically saying how much it pisses you off. But I don't know, mate. Jury's out for me in terms of the longevity of the band. And if they only do another album, so be it.
Mate, that's very good. Actually, I can imagine them doing a concept album about blokes in their 40s. My kid's stolen my charger. I reckon that'd be perfect. But I tend to agree. I think they do seem to have they settled into a sort of certain pace, and I think the reason why I was buzzed about the Chats in the first place is that they had this very much a sort of hybrid punk rock, pub rock, garage rock thing going about them, so they don't mind busting out the guitar solo every now and then. But I think for me, I have been interested to sort of understand and think, where is we built this city, and where are they going to actually go to in the next 20 years? Is this it for the Chats, or have they not got another couple of years? And I think the jury's still out, to be quite honest. I think that they'll dine on Smoko for however long that they're around, and I think that they'll make their money from that. But I think they've got so much more potential, and I just think that this album doesn't quite cut it for me, and I think they can do it in a way where they're not selling out. I think that's the last thing you need. I think they still need their personality. Like he's an awesome lyricist. I just think that they just need to maybe find a way that they can sort of really sort of evolve into a groove that might have a number of sort of albums sort of left in their catalogue that they could evolve to. So that wraps up our review of the Chats Get. That wraps up another episode of Indie Miners. Please look to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, and let us know if there's an album you would like us to look at. So until next time, bye for now, and thank you for watching.